This is a story for those who wish that they could truly read between the lines of the book they were reading and see the world of the story through the eyes of the author. For those who wish that they could make nonfiction from fiction. For those who wish that dreams were true. This is a story of a group of wayward friends who came together from the far reaches of two worlds to come together and to help make dreams reality. This is Hazeltown Story. Hello and welcome to Hazeltown Story episode 30. We are continuing on with our temporary secretary mini arc. So if you're just joining us on our little podcast show, you might want to start over, if not at the start of the arc, then at the start of the series, to kind of get a kind of feeling of what's going on. Now, with that disclaimer out of the way, what happened at the end of last time is that we almost had Sarah, or we almost had Sophie. I don't know why I thought Sarah. I was thinking of the next arc probably. But yeah, we have Sophie, or that's all we did. Then she got ungot, and that is where we kind of left off. Our group ended up raiding the house and found that she actually was in there and then wasn't. And now we have our basically Sophie's friend, our whoever, we'll find out shortly what exactly his role is, person Martin. And at his home, D-Pass is kind of has him in his, are there to kind of question. And our group is now also going to start questioning him. And just to kind of clarify, our group contains Carnival, who is playing as Elmis Graner, who is a technomancer and all over kind of tech person for our group. We have Deathmaster 780 playing Bob B, who is kind of a little bit of a sleaze guy, but also it can charm when needed and can also carry a gun when needed. We also have Norman Rafferty playing Toscin, who is kind of a jack of all trades and can kind of do a little bit of everything, but we'll see what exactly they can accomplish in these upcoming episodes. And also Iravia, being played by TorpidTypist, the Chaos Cow, who likes to be a little bit aggressive. So yeah, that is what we have going on. No other real things to talk about. No kind of things that I need to let you know as of right now. We're still... this is the end of the session that this currently came from. And we, as far as I know, we will be having a session in time to, continue on weekly. Also, just another clarification, in this session, we were having a little bit of issues with trying to figure out exactly what people can do. Normally, I'd probably clean that up if I was trying to make it a little bit more narrative. But since the show is also kind of me trying to learn to be a GM, I left those conversations in just as something to think about if you're trying to homebrew your own stuff, because it is pretty important to kind of make sure that your players are aware of what their toolkit actually is when they're actually going into your game. Because if you just say, here's kind of some stuff, and they have to intuit what exactly they have at their disposal, it can get a little frustrating when it actually turns out, well, that's not what was intended to be able to be used, which is hopefully something we'll rectify with the next session. But nonetheless, I think that is enough with the preamble. So here's the actual episode itself. As he sees people, or as people come down the stairs, his eyes kind of open up, and he's like, but he just kind of looks at you, just kind of frightened. And basically, Toby just kind of says, all right, Mr. Sparrow, I don't know exactly what you've been involved in, but we're getting some weird things coming from your house. There was an incident at, did we say this was a fancy motel? No, that was something else.
No, it was a shithole.
Yeah, at the motel that arrived, whatever it was. At a motel that was coming from your house. And also, you were mentioning to us that you had a roommate here. These people here have questions about your roommate. And Martin just kind of looks, eyes it just kind of like, you can tell that he is very frightened. And
Okay. Iravia's gonna carefully put down the chair, first off.
Okay.
Sit in it.
I'm not going to hurt you because I don't feel like getting arrested. But why the calls? Why?
He just kind of looks, is like, what do you want from us?
Nothing! I don't want anything! I just want to know why you've been calling me, attacking me.
Why are you after Sophie?
What do you mean after her? What does she think I'm trying to do?
She thinks you want to hurt her.
Well, now I do, because she tried to hurt me, but that's different entirely.
And you just see him like, it's like thousands of thoughts are racing through his head.
That's that, and this is this.
Sophie wouldn't want to hurt anyone. I don't like.
Iravia just sits down in her chair. Look. Did she think I tried to hurt her or want to hurt her?
Yes.
After we first met?
Yes.
I just wanted to know who she was.
I don't know, but she seemed terrified of you. I don't know why.
I don't know. I shook hands with her and I just got like bad vibes down my back. What is she?
I can't tell you.
Can't you?
Can't or won't.
Or do you not want to?
So Bobby, by this point, comes inside. When Martin showed up, he walked back to the house, but didn't actually go inside. Was just like standing outside the door, listening to all this.
All right.
And now he's inside.
Because like, it's like, if I tell you, you won't believe me.
I
We'll
have
believe
seen a lot of things, and I have been to a lot of places.
So at this point, Toby's just kind of sitting there, basically is like, also like, all right, basically also giving just tell us what you know. We'll figure out later whether or not it's worth looking into. And at this point, Toby just kind of, or not Toby, Martin just kind of looks at you, he's like, I found her in the woods.
Oh, okay. Like we do a lot of love interests, I'm sure.
That's how Bobby met his third husband.
Also, he kind of looks at you and is like, he just like, are you're the whatever.
Who was he talking to just now?
It's Martin. Basically, he recognized you from the market.
No, I've heard weirder.
It wasn't anything weird. I just found her in the forest.
Okay.
And
I wasn't accusing you of anything.
So was she wearing a chiffon top at the time, or something a bit more sporty?
She wasn't wearing anything.
Ooh, saucy.
Oh. And she alone, or did she have a parasol?
She was alone.
And somehow she came home with you.
Was so was she injured or anything? Like, was she clearly in distress when you brought her home?
No. Actually, if anything, I was just one day, I just about say a couple months ago, I was walking through
Go on.
I was walking the forest. Misty Lake Forest is like 5 minutes away. And I was walking through that, and it just helps clear my head.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I like to go out for drives. It works.
And I was walking, and all of a sudden, I was standing by the lake, and she walked up next to me.
And you just started shooting the breeze?
If it sounds weird, but yeah.
No. People still don't believe that I can hear sylphs. So you know what? Fuck them.
You can hear what?
Sylphs. You can't?
I've never.
But you can hear them, Iravia.
Yeah, I can hear them. Y'all are the weird ones for not being able to. Fucking fix your ears.
So I'm gonna
That's a rat friend.
my mage planner here, and I'm going to start going backwards. He said a few months ago. So, which important holidays or astrological events or Walpurgis nights were 3 months ago?
I would say there really wasn't anything.
Because originally in the lore, they said that the forest is haunted usually during specific times of the year.
Yeah, let's say that it was actually it was a time around that it would be a time in which there like something that Elmis would have read in the book would be that especially during times of which let's see,
It
like,
was a harvest moon.
well, I would also say it is a time in which the morning star would be out, so that Venus would be visible.
Is that auspicious for haunting?
It is close. There is lore about
Yes,
They-
Mercury's in retrograde.
about in this that there are when the morning star is visible that
Whatever the thing that
yeah,
it would have been out more often.
yes.
Okay, I'm just making notes here. I don't think there's anything that can tell us if this is a good spirit or a manic pixie dream girl.
So so at that point, yes, Elmis will pep in with that information. Like, okay, so that lines up with what I read what I read in the local legends. So, congrats, you managed to find a local spirit and brought her home. That drains life energy. Congrats! And Elmis starts clapping.
She didn't want to hurt anyone. She just
I
want.
just want to be a secretary, obviously.
Again, we're not saying that necessarily she was. It's one of those things from what I gathered from the information here is like, you know how you breathe, you know how all of us breathe in and out itself. The whole life energy thing is kind of like breathing. Not necessarily a function of want to harm people or not, but it just happens.
Yeah, I get that, but the thing is that she just wanted to be like, people.
That's fine. Everyone wants to be people, even people. Look, I'm just saying. Hey. Look, I'm just saying I got confrontational because I got some bad vibes, but then she got spooked and started attacking me. That's where the breakdown is here.
We just wanted you to stop.
I wasn't doing anything.
You were calling my house.
No, I wasn't.
That happened after the first call against Iravia.
I never called you once.
He just kind of clams up. He's like, I don't know. Something about you spooked the hell out of her.
Well, she doesn't want to talk to me. We could talk it out, but she refuses. Instead, tries to attack me. So of course I'm gonna go at her with the folding chair.
Bobby would enjoy a conversation as well. He would very much like to see this resolved peacefully.
And it's not like I got hurt anyway, because she sucked at it.
He just kind of looks down and is like, well, that's good, I guess.
Look, hopefully we can get this all resolved and come up with. And Elvis looks at Toby. You have an apartment. Do you have like a own apartment that handles like special needs of like weird? We have to make sure this person doesn't accidentally suck the life force out of everyone as a thing.
I don't think that was ever the issue.
No, but that's a future thing.
Toby kind of looks at you and is like, no, we don't have a ghost hunting division.
I mean, this isn't really ghost hunting. This is more of ghost accessibility.
We here in this region we hold our legends in high regard. That doesn't exactly mean like we have divisions to protect our local cryptids. we haven't
You should-
had a lot of personal experience with it. We have legends, but we don't have not a lot of concrete proof nowadays.
Bobby shakes his head and says, "Glad to know all my taxes to the Pox department are being spent well."
So, okay, pal, we're gonna try and get your girlfriend back, or your roommate back in safe pieces after we figure out a way to get points to Iravia, get their issue talked out. Okay, so can you give us directions to where you found her originally? Because that's the most likely spot where she's going to go.
It's Misty Lake Forest. It's 5 minutes away.
Well, luckily we have all this hunting gear.
Cool.
Indeed.
Get me the ghillie suit.
Bobby tosses a duffel bag to Iravia.
Yes. Let's do this. Forest spirits have trouble seeing past ghillie suits, right?
Guess we'll find out.
And at this point, Elmis is going to take the money that Bobby gave for working as the model and just give that to Martin as here's about the door. Sorry.
I was going to say, do you mind if we borrow Martin for a bit?
What do you plan on doing with him?
He's gonna help us.
He is a bargaining chip. We're not going to harm him, but she will not talk to us if it's just us.
Joey just kind of looks as like, well, first off, he is a person who needs to, consent to being helpful. I'm not going to.
Hey, do you want to be a bargaining chip, Martin? To get your girlfriend back?
Okay, I don't understand why you need to force Martin to come against his will. We have to be so confrontational. I don't understand why we have to be so confrontational when we're trying not to be so confrontational. Let's just go see if we can talk to them reasonably.
Look, I'm asking, Martin, do you want to come with us?
It's like Martin just kind of like, yeah, I'll come with you. I don't need to be that, but I don't know. There's something about you in particular that she found
and I
really
find
spooky.
her really spooky. It's the best. I'm good at picking up on vibes. Yeah, let's go with that.
Anyway, I'm walking. I'm ready. Iravia, can you help me pick up the equipment so we can set this up?
Yeah.
Toby also catches this like, I'm just wondering, do we really want to just go walking into the forest in the middle of the night? I mean, it's not the middle of the night, but it's getting nighttime pretty close. Do you want?
So, I've camped in the forest a bunch of times. Not this one, but
well, we are salaried, so we're not getting paid any overtime or golden time for doing this. Wait, do we bill by the hour?
You do not. Well, no. if there's overtime, then it wouldn't. Like you'd be compensated for like some overtime.
Going into the dangerous haunted woods at night, we're not getting paid any danger pay. That is a point.
I would say that he would chip in danger pay. That Theron would chip in danger pay.
And by the way, Bobby pulls out another duffel bag full of flashlights and lanterns.
Where do you get these from? Don't answer that.
My store. God damn it! Why do you think I'm doing this?
This is all free advertising for you, isn't it? Right? Duh. Anyway, like Martin, I guess it's up to you. If you want to wait till tomorrow, it's fine. But like,
Martin just kind of is like, I guess it would be good to know where she is now. I'm kind of worried.
She's probably very scared, so the sooner we find her, the better.
Yeah, a friendly face, I'm sure, would help.
All right. So Toby is basically like, well, I feel like it's not like, I'm sure you're all very capable adults, but I do feel like it would help if you had some help. So I am willing to wasn't planning on doing this today, but I'll call in and I'm sure that we can help you out also taking a look.
You just don't want to let the problem children off the leash.
No, I don't.
Happy to have you along, Toby.
So yeah, you will have Toby and his 3 subordinates.
Also, what is Cass up to?
Cass has been sitting there pretty.
It's what he's
Like,
best
Piling
at.
that clothing.
Yeah, he's just kind of sitting there, just kind of
Taking it all
also,
in.
yeah. So he also stands up and is like, yeah, I can help too.
Excellent.
Our good buddy Cass, who was here the entire time.
Look, I'm not here for the smarts. I'm here for the. And he kind of makes a fist, like I can help with the physical stuff.
So transition to forest, we go.
So yeah, you all would. I take it. Are you just going to immediately go into the woods, or are you going to try and come up with a plan first?
Look, we have all this sick hunting gear. We've got Martin. We're good to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
The plan is to follow Martin, I would say, since he knows where he found her.
Where he first met her,
let him
yeah.
lead.
All right. So I will also say this: that Misty Lake Forest is also there. It's a little bit. It's also a camping ground. There is kind of. It's similar to the Sapphire Lakes. Kind of like it's not like as like park like. There's not as like concession stands as there was for the other park that you were at. But it is mostly a camping site. But there is some camping ground. There is kind of a little center that basically is like, here's some like a first aid station, and that's where basically the park rangers there are. That there is a map of this area. That if you are you all going to go there now?
That's
So
the idea, isn't
Ranger
it?
station.
Yeah, sure.
I'm ready as I'll ever be.
Okay. So you all basically in your various modes of transportation head up to the Misty Lake Forest. And you all are basically the first place that you go to is the kind of welcome stand that you basically Toby goes up and picks up a couple maps. And basically you all go to kind of a picnic table, or like there's some tables there, and you put the maps down, and you all just kind of look at the map. It is a pretty big forest. Basically, like if you kind of get in, there are campgrounds to kind of the left and right of you. If you go just straight, you're going into basically forest. And kind of nestled in this kind of forest, there are some kind of not like huge mountains, but there are some pretty sizable like mini mountains that basically like rock structures that would basically kind of makes up a wall. Kind of almost gives it kind of the corner a perimeter of this kind of area. There is
Alright.
also a lake in the center of the forest.
All right. Bobby will turn to Martin and say, "All right, kiddo, it's your show. Where are we going?"
All right. So I found her, and he's given like a pen and kind of like, I found her at, he kind of circles out a part by the lake. It's like, I was here when she came up to me. It's kind of a secluded part. There's more forest around it. Like there's a lot of trees around the lake. So it's a pretty secluded area. But I found her around here.
Well, then that's where we go.
Yeah. Lead the way.
It takes you about, I would say, about 20 minutes walking to get there. There is a lot of forest, so you're trying to kind of navigate your way around. You all get to the area. Since there's not of you, I'm not going to make you roll or anything for it. You don't see anything there. You're all by the lake. So it would basically, you get to the lake and you don't see anyone there.
Okay.
Until we're just kind of like, well, I don't see anyone there. Anything, as I say, what are we even going to do if we can't see her?
Am I picking up any vibes?
You are not.
Okay.
I mean, okay, so given that, like, I could probably jury rig some of these cameras up to, like, give detection noises once it picks up something similar readings.
Fucking motion sensors, nice.
You do
Yeah.
have more of those the magic lenses too. They
Yeah,
just go around.
Yeah, I'll just give everyone magic lenses and like, okay, this is some hackneyed code, but effectively, you'll get it'll alert and vibrate when it picks up something that's not detectable by visible light and matches the same parameters of what we saw when at the house.
Oop. Let's see. Okay, so you kind of give everyone that kind of thing.
Yes, I gave everyone the EMF reader.
Yes. Let's see. So how are we going? Are you all going to go up as a group, or are you going to split up?
I think I'll stick with Martin at the very least.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bobby
that
will
sounds like a
also
good
stick
plan.
with
Yeah,
Martin.
I'm gonna split up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll stick with Martin then at that point if everyone else is. So
Okay. So far the groups are Elmis, Martin, and Iravia. Tacent, you're going on your own.
I suppose I am.
Bobby, who are you going with?
Bobby's also going with Martin and Iravia.
Okay.
Poor Tacent.
Cass can go with Tacent.
Okay. So let's say Cass goes with Tacent. Toby will basically say, okay, if we're going to split up, hold on. So basically, Toby has 3 underlings with him. He is going to point to 2 of them. Okay, Maple, Millie, go with those 2. Becky, you're staying with me. And basically, he is going. Him and Corporal Turtle are going to be following your group. I will also say since they haven't really been kind of described. Maple, who is going to be he is a let's see, what do I have him as? He is a mouse. That basically he is relatively shorter than most of the group. He is one of the ones that's going with you. You are also being followed by a chipmunk lady. That is Millie. Basically, the ones with Iravia in the other group are basically Corporal Turtle is basically a lynx lady.
Not living up to her name.
Yep. So yeah, I just figured I'd point that out. Yeah. Okay. How to do this? So what exactly do you want to do? Are you just going to walk around?
I figured that was the idea, is explore a bit and see if
Yes.
Ghost Lady is drawn in by Martin.
Okay.
yeah, seems like the plan.
Well, how does one produce a ghost camera? The
Magic.
sensory equipment that can see ghosts.
Well, like we established earlier that her disappearance.
It's not so much that you're looking at ghost. You're basically looking at something that is going to detect interference in the air.
Yeah, that's more what it's like. Okay, there's this. We saw this disturbance when we recorded her on the other cameras when she left out the window. So just in these cameras, just set them up to vibrate when they detect the same disturbance, and
so you just bought these cameras at a store or something?
I mean, yeah, and all part of them are bought, and part of it's just like stuff that's been jury rigged that brought because like since Elvis has been researching, and it also been part of like researching with cameras, the stuff like, okay, here's what I've known works. Let me just keep bringing stuff.
Okay, I'm asking digging questions here because so I put points into wizardry and technomancy, but I don't seem to know what any of it does.
The thing I will say about that is that shoot. Let me check something real quick. Oh yeah. Oh, you do have deep.
I mean, like the description of technomancy says I can increase the potency of equipment, but doesn't say I can just produce a ghost detector or make a camera able to perceive things it can't normally perceive.
The one thing I will also say about Elmis, does have the ability go without. Once per session, count as having the right tools for the job when performing the right skill.
Talent.
Okay.
It's something that's a little. I don't know how to describe it.
No, I mean you're just saying that answers my question of how they're doing what they're doing, but I'm just kind of at a loss of like we're looking for a spooky creature, but I can't find anything or figure out any way that any of my supernatural knowledge or magical ability helps this in any way, and it's a little confusing. I think I thought I would be able to work with supernatural beings, but I don't seem to be able to do that.
You would need basically you would need like the items in order to work with it.
So magic doesn't help with ghosts.
No.
Oh, okay.
Magic is essentially like conjuring stuff, but not like it's not like drawing from a plane that lets you speak to that. It is basically manipulating like the elements of the air.
There's a real confusing thing here where both of my magic does transformations. Apparently I can transform into other things.
There's very specific things regarding that, but that is also not ghostly, if that makes sense.
Well, it doesn't, because it says I can only transform into natural forms, but it's part of technomancy. I wouldn't think technomancy would be natural things.
There is a very specific reason for, like, there is a very specific item that you would need for that. Essentially,
okay, so it doesn't work unless I have an item. Okay.
Correct. Think of it like the Ultraman thingy, where basically it's you need the item in order to, or like you need the whatever the hell the Kamen Rider thing is.
Okay.
You need the belt.
You need the belt.
Okay.
That is why Transform is available. I put that in there in case for future stuff.
Okay.
Anyway, so you all are just going to kind of walk around.
Yep.
That's the idea.
So let me see. I need. Let me think. What I want you to do. We're gonna do this. How about this? Everyone roll a. Everyone roll a hard perception check.
All right. And that's 3 purple.
That is 3 purple.
All right. There's mine.
God.
Damn. So far, I'm doing the least bad, I guess.
All right, Tacent, can you?
You did it. You're the only one that made it out.
Okay, let me, because it's going to be how I'm going to decipher this. Okay, so those cancel out. So,
And Tacent's off or away from the rest of us, so.
That's true. So we're gonna do it like this. You basically walk around the forest. Since it's as a group, basically the rolls were DM. You just rolled a threat. Carnival rolled 4 failures and an advantage. Iravia rolled 1 failure, and Tacent rolled a success in a threat. So as a group, I'm going to say that you do not find anything. You walk around, and as you do, you walk around for hours, like let's say 3 or 4 hours, and you don't find anything. While you do so, you do plant some magic lenses along the way. But you all walk around and you find nothing. Let's say this. basically, you all, as you walk around, and basically you walk around and you find nothing. You all kind of end up meeting up again at that spot in the lake.
Anything?
I didn't see anything.
I didn't see
Nothing
shit.
unusual for a spooky Mystic Woods. It's an awful disappointment.
It's almost like they're just normal woods. I don't understand why people are so scared of them. They're just woods.
Because all the ghost bears.
Look, I've been in many woods, and I have yet to see more than one ghost bear.
Well, you have the plan B. We sit here and wait. Make her come to us.
Toby's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if she's going to come to you.
We don't know that she
Hey,
won't.
Martin, you want to yell for her for a bit? Call out to her?
But he's looking very concerned. He's like, I guess, and he calls out Sophie's name a few times, and is like, well, there's nothing.
Bobby hands him a folding chair and pulls out one for himself. And we wait.
Okay, yeah, I guess
So,
sure.
Bob, did you bring food?
Bobby pulls out a can of beans, hands it to Iravia.
Sure.
So basically Toby's like, well, as much as I would want to make sure that you're all safe out here, I can't justify having my team out here the entire night.
That's fine. We are getting a bit crowded anyway. I'm not sure she's going to approach such a large group of people.
Well, you seem to have enough equipment here. I'm sure that there are people stationed out here. Should you need anything, we are going to have to leave and go home. If you need anything else, don't hesitate to call. We can help make sure that Martin gets home safely.
Thanks for the help, Toby.
It'll be
Yes.
fine.
And officer, if you appreciated the quality of any such equipment, he hands him the flyer. This Saturday, all through this weekend, 25% off.
He just kind of takes a look and is like, thanks. So at this point, you four plus Cass are still in the woods. Because the D-Pass ends up bringing Martin home because they want to make sure that he is basically there in case she comes home.
All right.
Sure.
So you all are out in the woods.
Well, I think I've got something I want to try. Okay, so I'm looking under wizardry here, and it says that you can conjure things, which is alternately called summoning something and conjuring something. If this is the Mystic Woods, I would assume there would probably be at least a ghost or something spiritual here to talk to and ask questions. Because
Sophie.
they call it that. So I would like to call forth one of the spirits that lives here so I can ask it questions.
So about that, if you hold on, let me take a look at your sheet. So the thing with conjure is that there is a specific talent that you need in order to use that called Tapped in Unknown Worlds, which I do not think you have at the moment.
Wow, okay. So you needed specific talents to buy magic, and then you need specific talents to use the abilities that are in the magic lists.
Just that.
Okay.
It just so happens that one in particular and transform are the two that you need special things for.
Okay.
Those are just beyond like training. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Probably will start handing out cans of food to everyone. Them's the special hunt and store rations, but it's not good enough for y'all. We can see about calling my burger joint. We do delivery to some strange places.
No, these are fine.
Okay, so basically you all are going to try and spend the night waiting for her to show up.
Got nothing better to do.
Yeah, it seems like if we got all the data, it's like, why not?
It's a nice little camping trip with your coworkers.
That you can't stand.
Well, one of them. And that one is giving free food, so it could be worse.
And chairs.
And chairs.
Okay. So, let me think. So basically, I'm just going to say, you spend the night out there, but nothing comes.
God damn it.
Mm.
She went back to the fucking house.
One way to find out is Bobby holds up the walkie-talkie.
Is it?
And say,
I was going to say, is this the next morning?
I would assume so.
Okay.
Well, that's what you said, so.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it is going to be the next morning.
Bobby will radio Toby and says, "Did she come back to the house?"
So you kind of hear someone's like kind of fumbling. Is like, oh, I forgot I had this. No, we didn't hear anything at the house.
Good to know. Nothing out here either.
You all spend the night out there?
Yep.
Oh, yes. It's the power of Bobby's hunting equipment. All night camping.
All right. I guess keep us posted.
At this point, I figure Elvis is just going to suggest just giving the data over to the library so we can get a better look at it.
Sounds about right. She's probably not going to approach us anyway.
I mean, I think we've come to the conclusion that Sophie is indeed a supernatural entity, and that we've convinced it to leave Martin, but we don't have any evidence otherwise. I think we've proven that, yes, she wasn't a normal secretary, and now she's gone, and we chased her off. I think that's pretty much the whole case, unless we want to keep milking this for more money.
Well, if that's how you feel, we can go and talk to our newspaper reporter friend to see how he feels on that.
I mean, they seem to be comfortable paying us to keep looking into it, so.
I'm still checking the data just in case things get sideways later.
I mean, I have a personal interest at this point, but I can understand if you want to back out.
Well, what's our goal here?
I just want to fucking know.
You scared her, and she tried to scare you away, and it didn't work because you can't be scared. I mean, that's the whole thing.
I just don't know why she was so rattled, is what's confusing me.
Because
I'm going to
pound my fists against Iravia's torso and say, because you're scary.
Okay, first off, that's rude. How dare you? Just because you're right doesn't mean you should say it.
Yeah, so it's not that deep. You are scary, and you scared someone. Somebody who, was reaching out to someone and possibly had a legitimately strong relationship with them, but because society is so anti-ghost or whatever that they'll send the police and private investigators to look into it, she ran away. It seems the most obvious thing to me. It's what I'd do. I'd run away from Iravia if Iravia scared me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's just say, so at that point, you've spent the night in the woods for no real reason.
What do you mean no real reason? Fuck you.
I mean, for you have not. Sorry, you have spent the night in the woods. You have not produced anything, at least immediately, of note.
Yeah, and we don't even know if she went here because she moves faster than our cameras can record. She may have gone somewhere else. And also, I'm also really let down because these are not very spooky woods at all.
They're very boring woods. Not even any ghost bears.
I mean, I left cameras all around the woods anyway, so if anything actually happens, I can come pick them up another time. So that's cool with me.
So, yeah, at this point, you don't know where you did not find any proof that she visited you over the night. You did not see anything, like you did not see anything about that, not the house. So she's out there somewhere. Now, I will say, of what you have, you could go and basically you do have those cameras. You did lay them out, so you could go and collect that for information. That would require a scrying session, which can be done. That being said, though, I do kind of feel that where we're at now is actually a decent we did
Stopping
actually
point?
yeah, this is actually kind of a decent stopping point. Because I think any of the next things would probably be a little bit too long to go into. And I do feel we have enough material to kind of figure this out.
I mean, I'm fine stopping here if that's with everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine. Although I will
Yeah, sure.
say quick.
Yeah, because you have something prepared.
Yes. As we're leaving the woods, Bobby will write a note, the note I wrote here, and we'll leave it in a plastic bag in the spot where we were camping.
Okay.
Which, just read out loud. It says,
Yeah.
Sophie,
Okay.
we mean you no harm. In spite of how things have gone down, we have no desire for violence. Iravia means you no harm, has not meant you any harm in spite of your actions against her. We simply wish to talk to you and settle this matter. If you find this acceptable, please meet us at Bobby's Burgers at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Signed, Bobby.
All right. So you leave the note and you leave?
Yeah.
All right. So I guess at that point, you all just kind of pack up your stuff and you kind of take a little while to collect all the cameras and you head out of the forest onto probably the library would be a good place to check it out. Thank you for listening to Hazeltown Story. If you would like to get updates on this show and many other shows hosted by me, LoloDePuzlo, you can follow at Hazeltown Story on Twitter. And if you would like to get to know me more from a personal standpoint, you can follow my personal Twitter at LoloDePuzlo. If you would like to watch this be recorded live, you can go to twitch.tv/LoloDePuzlo and follow the channel for notifications of when this show, as well as other shows like Retro Rank Rhapsody, are being recorded. If you would like to add this podcast to your podcatcher of choice, you can search for WLDP Hazeltown Radio and find us on most major podcatching search engines. Or you can manually add rss.hazeltown.life to your podcatcher. Thank you for listening, and I hope you come around for the next episode.